Hello. So let's do some chair yoga today. And what you need to have is potentially a ball. Let me grab mine. So when I set up, I like to actually take my ball between my back and the back of the chair. And I still like to be able to have my feet planted on the floor, so having a bigger ball might help you bring your feet down so that you're sitting further forward in the seat. But whatever size ball has to have a little give to it, right? And then just roll your shoulders down your back. See if you can breathe into your chest. Good, and the head's back. And we're also going to breathe into the ball. And that's going to help us stay upright, that breath. I'm going to invite you to inhale and hold your breath in. I'm just turning to face towards you now. But let's go ahead and let it go and do it again. So now that I'm getting to face towards you, we're going to inhale. Hold it. Press back into the ball a little bit. Roll your shoulders down your back. Exhale. Good, let's do a few more. Breathe in. Feel how tall you can be. Just grow even a little bit more. Push down into your thighs. And let it go. Let's do a few more. Breathe in and hold it. Breathing in and holding it. Right? But you want to not hold for so long that you get lightheaded or uncomfortable. Thankfully, you're sitting, but you'd want to make sure that the rhythm of this breath, the length of your hold, is working for you. If we can, a minimum of 8 rounds of this type of pranayama or breath control should create some benefit, right? The idea being when we're getting that full inhale, we're bringing oxygen into the lungs, and it takes a period of time for your lungs to actually pull the oxygen in, right? Actually to kind of draw it into your system. So giving this breath retention, we should be re-oxygenating the blood. And now when we move, we're going to bring that oxygen into all parts of the body and nourish ourselves, right? So now I'm going to have you turn your palms up and let's just visualize this kind of fountain of youth, and it's going to pour down into our hands. And we're going to inhale. And then hold it for a moment. And then you're going to take this bucket of water from your fountain of youth that you've just filled up, and you're going to dump it down over your shoulders and exhale. Inhale, palms parallel to the ceiling, like you're filling them with water from the fountain of youth. Maybe a slight retention, and then as you exhale, wash this water down your back. Inhale, we fill up our hands with new energy from the universe. Exhale, we wash ourselves in it, we bathe ourselves in it, and rejuvenate ourselves. Inhaling, letting water come into your hands. Exhaling, pouring it down your back. Just visualize yourself washing away fear. Washing away your worries. Washing away negative thoughts or thought patterns that don't serve you. And just allowing yourself to get a little clearer and feel nourished, right? Clear-headed and nourished. Let your hands rest on your lap. I like to turn my palms down after that and just kind of notice how my hands feel. They've kind of become a conduit of a lot of energy that I was receiving and offering. And if I bring my palms together at my heart, I can even offer that energy to the world, to everyone in our community, of an immediate sense, our family, and beyond that. Good. Let's go ahead and take the hands down. I want you to find the ball and bring it out from behind you. And now you're going to see me scoot farther forward in my seat so that I can encourage the same kind of good posture. So I come onto my sits bones. I feel like I encourage my lower back to be comfortable and in its own place, not rounded, but maybe charged and helping me stay upright, right? Plugging the tailbone back into the earth a little bit. Now let's take the ball and actually bring it underneath one side. So we'll just do kind of the lower ribs so my elbow can be on it. And I could just let my hand rest on my lap. I could hold onto the wrist, whatever's comfortable. I want to try to breathe into the ball. I might be exaggerating it a little bit. Try to stay in your vertical spine. And it's as though we're emphasizing this lung, this rib cage movement to one side. Let's try a few with that breath retention. So if we inhale and hold it. And when you need to exhale, exhale. And then we'll do it again. Now I wouldn't do a lot of breath retention after an inhale before I went to bed. So that emphasis on inhaling and specifically holding after the inhale can emphasize some of the awakening effects of what oxygenating our blood is actually doing, right? We're essentially gonna wake up a little bit, like a good yawn, okay? Let's try a few more, just breathing into the ball. Feeling and imagining how the umbrella of your ribs are going out to the sides and up into the ball. Now take the ball out and just notice as you pause between sides, if one side does in fact feel different than the other. To me, there's just a whole lot more space on this side that just had the ball. I'm gonna adjust my chair so I'm a little more centered. Let's try it to the other side. So now I'm gonna bring the ball to the small, more mobile ribs, and it's kind of in line with my elbow, and it's comfortable for me to just put my hand in my lap, but if you wanna hold your wrist, you're welcome to do that. And now start to breathe into that place. And of course, adjust the ball as you need to. Start to breathe into the ball. Try to relax the shoulder, adjust the ball so it doesn't feel like the shoulder's pulled down at all. You can still feel vertical and upright. Good, and there should be this feeling of, like, again, an umbrella going out and up, a movement that's happening in the ribs. Maybe we explore a little breath retention. Just give a little inhale and pause for a moment. And sometimes I like to see if I can get a little bit more in, and then I let it go. Try to keep the neck relaxed. You're not breathing with your neck muscles. No, you're breathing with your diaphragm and those rib muscles, those muscles between the ribs. And then take the ball out. And just notice how you feel. Now there's one more place that I like to bring the ball. And that is now to the chest. So if I draw my chin back behind the ball slightly and my shoulders roll down the back, I've actually got the ball against my body and my hands just sort of wrap around the front of it, not on top of it, but in front of it. And I pull it back into my body just gently, right? So my shoulders draw back and that sort of pulls the ball back. And now as I breathe, I'm very mindful of my head staying behind the ball, and the inhale causes the ball to lift slightly. Maybe we explore that retention again. Inhaling and holding it. And as I, lift my chest, I remind myself to let the shoulders draw down the back, like I'm hanging my elbows and my shoulders from the ball. The chest lifts, I feel my shoulders and my elbows roll down the back. And then I release, it falls on the exhale. Try a few more. My retention is fairly small today. Just a pause, an opportunity to really observe the pause is what might benefit us. So it doesn't need to be a lot or a long pause. One more. And then you could take the ball out. I like to bring it between my knees and just pause for a moment, give the ball a little squeeze. Good, let's set the ball off to the side, right? Make sure it's not underfoot. And you might sit back just a little bit for these, right? I'm gonna bring my hands to my shoulders. We're gonna inhale, reach the arms up. And I'm gonna exhale with a little bit of a ha, bringing the hands back to the shoulders, right? So inhale, we reach up. Let's lift one foot up. And then kind of stomp. Ha. Do it again. Ha. One more. Ha. Charging our legs a little bit. Let's do it to the other side. So now inhale, arms up, and the other leg lifts up. Ha. Sort of a stomp. Ha. One more. Ha. Now if it's available, both legs lift. Inhale. Ha. A little swing. Ha. One more. Ha. And then bring your hands onto your lap. I'm going to turn my chair so that I can give you more of a profile view. Make sure that you're avoiding your ball for this one. You don't want to have it underfoot. I'm going to stagger my feet, and I'm going to change my camera position so you can see my feet a little bit better. Yeah, I can scoot a little further back too. So the right foot's forward, left foot is back. My left heel, this back heel does not have to be down, okay? So I've got my foot forward, my left foot staggered back. I'm gonna come up, and then I'm gonna float back down, right? So we get a nice inhale. Maybe we pause for a moment, and then slowly come back down. Oh, somebody tried to take my chair. Hey, you. Let's try a couple more with that right foot in front. Shifting the weight forward and then slowly sitting down. If you're asking whether or not you could do this with weights, of course you could. Here, I've got one here. The best kind of weight. A little 20-pounder. Yeah. Now, I'm watching for my ankles to roll. So I do observe my back ankle wanting to roll a little bit. So I'm going to slow it down and try to make sure that I feel a sense of stability and integrity to the ankle, right? Woo, it's a bit of work. I'm gonna try it to the other side. So my legs are getting a little bit more charged here, right? Yeah. Go find your big sis. Where's Joy? So now left foot forward, right foot slightly staggered back. Again, my right heel might not be down, and that's okay. So as I'm ready to come up, I'm gonna shift my weight forward. I might even find that nice little bit of a pause, and then I'm going to sit back down. Shift forward. It's like a fancy ride. All right, I'm shifting forward and coming back down. And you're using your hips, you're using your quads, your hamstrings, your calves. Again, you've got to have integrity to your ankles, so there's even a little bit of balance because my feet are staggered, right? My left foot forward, right foot back. I even started to feel like that was a little bit more of a workout than I expected. 20 pounds, woo. Maybe one more. Good, now we're ready to come up to standing, okay? So come all the way up to standing. Maybe we shake it out a little bit. So nice to see if you can actually get your foot to shake, right? A little bit of stability here. Awesome. And then I'm gonna have us do a little transition onto the chair. So I'm gonna grab my chair. I'm just gonna bring my hands onto the seat. My feet could be a little bit wide here. I'm going to move my spine. I'm going to move it towards the ceiling, and I'm going to move my spine towards the floor. And I'm going to move it towards the ceiling and towards the floor. And let's just do a few more. Move it towards the ceiling and towards the floor. And we can inhale to the floor, exhale back to the ceiling. Inhale forward to the floor. You exhale back to the ceiling. One more. And then you could bring your hands onto your legs, help yourself come up. And now we've warmed up our breath, we've warmed up and charged our legs and our spine, and we're ready to have a really fabulous walk. Yeah, just a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me. Be well.